All right, good morning, everybody. It's Michelle Maher here this morning with Sandra Milligan. Thank you so much, Sandra, for giving me your time to come together and have a discussion as to what we as small business owners going through these challenging times can do to keep a positive mindset and pivot in our business. Thank you, Sandra. So just give us a few words as to who you are and what you do and what you're all about.
Sure. Thanks for having me, Michelle. As a fellow entrepreneur, I know you understand, first and foremost what other people are going through. So this is a really great initiative that you did this. So congrats to you for taking that initiative. It's pretty awesome.
Thank you.
So a bit about me. My gosh. Okay, I do a lot of things. I have a makeup manufacturing business. So I sell cosmetics, both in brick and mortar stores across North America, as well as I am a hair and makeup artist. So I see clients still from time to time for hair and makeup. And I also run a women's group. So I help mentor and support women who are in business, both online and virtually. And I am a consultant in the small to medium sized business space for branding, product development, and anything to do with consumer packaged goods, which is basically my specialty in this industry. So I have a lot on the go as a small business owner, and I'm kind of touched by this COVID situation in almost all aspects of my business. So I totally understand what so many different people are going through because it's hit me the same way, right?
Right.
And it's a difficult time, but I think it's a time that we are challenged to be our best selves, right? We're challenged to
Right.
be ourselves. I don't know how else to put it because we've
We
all gone
are.
through that state of fear. I
Yes.
certainly have. This is really the maybe second day I've had makeup on this past 3 weeks. I won't lie. But we're challenged to be our best selves because it's times like this that we are so uncertain and we don't have the answers. So we like to be in control. We like to know what our next step is as
Yeah.
entrepreneurs. We're organized. We're go-getters. We're people who have a plan. We have no plan right now.
Well, whatever plans you might have had are just shot down pretty quickly. Like I know for myself, I had made a conscious decision this year to make sure that I had um, a whole lineup of live events where I had a tableette
Yeah.
to sell my jewelry. I had it all planned out to, kind of make sure that I've got the right number and I've got the time in between to make new pieces and that kind of thing. And then I just saw them all be shot down one after another, all being canceled or postponed. Initially postponed, I think one was postponed till only the beginning of May, so that's
Yeah.
going to change again, I'm sure. So yeah, you just see everything change. Whatever plans you had at the beginning of the year just shut down, you know, like that. And the loss of control was, I think that's what also caused everybody into that spiral of fear. The
Yeah,
uncertainty and loss of control is big.
absolutely. And to top that all off, we got shifted completely out of our routines. And I don't know
Yeah,
about you, but
yeah.
I thrive on routine. I need to, even though I work from home some days, I also have an office, which I'm in today. I haven't been to my office like at all because I've had my son's home from school and I have him half the time. That we share parenting with my husband's ex-wife. So
Yes.
we have him home to homeschool. My husband is working from home. So he needs a private space because he's still on conference calls all day. And, I need to still continue to have some semblance of normalcy. And so I'm trying to accommodate my son, but also to do my business and figure out different strategies that I can implement for right now while I can't see clients and I can't have meetings. And all
Right.
that shift has changed our daily routines. And so I think now that we've gone through this whole couple of weeks of panic, I don't know about you, but I've had anxiety. I will not lie. This heaviness, I feel that, it's hard to lift. It's not a choice that you have. It's there. It's in everyone that you speak to. There's no one that hasn't been affected by this. So the reality is,
Right.
even corporations, who like the owners of this building that I rent from, there's 50 some units here. Guess what? There's challenged people who aren't able to pay their rent, and just it all trickles down, right? So no one is not affected by this, and that's something I really want to let people know. Just because you're wealthier or you're not, everybody has responsibilities, employees, things that are taxing to them, and this whole pandemic has changed everybody's lives. So we have to be sensitive, not just to who we think might be affected, because everybody is affected. So that's a big
Yes.
part of what's going on, right? Is just
Right.
awareness of the people around us and the businesses around us. Now more than ever, I need to stress that people need to shop locally and support locally, because if we don't, our economy is really going to have a serious negative downturn, right?
Right. Yes, for sure. And when you say that everyone is affected, well, it's global, right?
Yeah,
But everybody is also having to work from home, self-isolate everywhere, and it doesn't matter how much money you have. It
that's right.
doesn't matter who you are. Look at all the famous musicians and the movie actors that are doing Instagram lives or
I
or
know,
you know
it's so
concerts from their
positive.
home.
It's
Yeah,
been nice
but
to see that.
so they're faced with the same thing. They have to stay home as well. So this is something that is affecting everybody. It doesn't matter on your social class or anything.
That's
It's
right.
everybody.
Yeah.
And so we need to come together as a community to support one another. And like you say, now it's important to support. And the other thing is too, the local restaurants that
Yeah.
are now only available for takeout. Support them when you want a break from cooking, which
God knows
having
we
to,
do once in a while.
yeah, having everybody at home and having to, me making lunches and dinners and breakfast and everybody, you do need a break at times.
For sure, for
Um,
sure. But now's a
yeah,
time where we're starting to see our communities really thrive and come
yes,
together in ways that I didn't even know were possible, truthfully. I'm so proud to see other people reaching out, and, you doing what you're doing, connecting people, staying focused, staying on top of keeping our relationships healthy and our mindset healthy, because those are all things that actually help keep us in that routine and the positive mindset we need to really focus on more now than ever. So
yes, for
it's an
sure. The routine is very important, and it's okay to have the occasional, what my friend calls character building days, where you might want to stay in bed or watch Netflix all day
done it.
because, yeah, it's fine. But at this point now, it seems like this is our new normal. We might be in for a bit of time.
Yeah,
So this is the time to be creative in your business and actually do some reflection inside and think, am I happy with the way I was living my life? Are there habits I can change? Are there habits that are not serving me well? And are there new ones that perhaps I should be adopting now since I have the time?
absolutely. Yeah, it's a time that, at least for me, I'm a creative like you, so I get inspired by things that happen around me. And I had a really interesting day yesterday. I was at my computer most of the day, and I was doing some research trying to find some interesting people to connect with for my business via LinkedIn, Facebook, different, sources that we have available to us. And my hands were dry. I didn't have any cream on them, and my face was feeling kind of itchy. I didn't have any makeup on, and I didn't really properly put my skincare on yesterday morning. And I thought, you know what? I feel like formulating today. And I completely just shut off everything I was doing. And I spent the entire afternoon researching active ingredients and formulating product, to make some future product. And then today I came to my office and I'm going to actually do some test batches of some product. And I thought, why haven't I done this in the last 2 weeks? My office is my own space. There's nobody here. I can come here anytime I want, but I wasn't feeling motivated to do so. And it sort of hit me yesterday.
Right.
Maybe it was the sunshine. I don't know, but I want to encourage people to find that creative outlet that they have in their life to sort of re-inspire them right now, because work is great. It's wonderful to be focused on work, but I think what we forget is we also need to feed our souls, and sometimes feeding our souls is allowing that creative element to come through. For people like you and I, it's more natural, but for other people it's not. So allowing that, this is a time right now to explore. You have the means to do it. You have the time, and you have the space if you're at home, cooking,
and you
whatever
have the
that may
internet,
be, right?
Yes.
Take this time to learn something, feed your brain, inspire yourself, just do something that makes your heart kind of feel happy, because being outside of our routine, it's hard to, we can't go to the gym. We have to go outside for exercise, but stay away from people. It's odd and weird. And I don't know about you, but I need out of my house.
Yes. Everybody needs to get out for sure. You can't just stay. And on that note, there's so much offered out there right now for free, and they're streaming the museums, Broadway shows, opera, other thing. I think they were doing a stream from the Toronto Zoo as well of the animals. So there's a lot of things that you can go and look into in terms of like we have this technology, and this is it's just allows us to connect, and you can go and pretend, almost feel like you're in the museum as well. All kinds of classes being offered for free, and webinars and things like that. And if there's something that you've always wanted to do, or go back to when you were a kid, what did you like doing? If you want to maybe get some coloring books or something, just something creative, as you say. And I think a lot of people are really embracing cooking now, because you have to, eating out is not really an option. There is the takeout, but even still, and the drive-throughs that are open, but you're not going to just go to, before driving through to grab takeout food was because you were running from one place to the next, and that's kind of why you had to eat something. And I know for myself, I would be at Starbucks quite often. But on the way,
even at that, during this
time. Right.
We don't know who those people are that are making the food, and they're doing their best to live their best life. And so going to work for them is important, obviously, if they're working at a restaurant. And so, are they making the right choice to be at work? Are they potentially ill? There's just so many questions we have during a time like this. And although we want support, we do have to be aware that in order to flatten this curve, we need to self-isolate as much as possible. And so that's why my family has not been in contact with pretty much anyone, because my son has elderly grandparents that he lives with part-time, and just any chance of
true.
One is, right now it's just really important we abide and we stay home as much as possible, or stay away from anybody around us, right?
Yes,
with
totally.
That said, cooking at home has been, I think, a new outlet for people, like you said, and it's a good time to explore if you have the food in your cupboard. I don't know about you, but I've been only once to the grocery store in 2 weeks. So
okay, I've been twice. But I found last week when I went, I was like, I felt depressed after. I don't know. I felt just really sad. Like, I just, the whole experience,
Yeah.
it's not like no problem getting everything I wanted at the store.
Yeah.
Lots of, everything was there aside from the toilet paper aisle
No,
and the
yeah.
paper products and the paper towels, that being all empty. But everything else I needed, fine. And everybody was abiding by
Yeah,
the
it was
two
very
meter
accepting.
rule. They have the plexiglass screens. They organize it all. There's hand sanitizer, washing. You can wash your hands at the beginning and at
Yeah.
the entrance, everything like that. But it just felt so. Maybe the air was just so heavy because everybody's so worried, and everybody's just going there for a purpose to get in and get out as fast as possible. So I just felt I had to I had to take a bit of time at home to just, I don't know, it was just, I felt kind of sad
When you got back, I know.
when I
And
got back home.
it was a whole day adventure for me because I had to get myself ready, mask, scarf, ear, like I covered everything so I wasn't exposed in any way. And then walking around with a mask, grocery shopping, it was the oddest feeling, and seeing other people who weren't masked and then worrying about it myself. Anyways, long and short of it was I got, I think, about $400 worth of groceries. I've never done a big grocery shop like that in my life. We don't need to. It's my husband and I and my son part-time.
Yeah,
And I came home and then I spent 2.5 hours washing and sanitizing everything that I brought in. And it
yeah,
was a whole day adventure to grocery shop. It was like, wow, I can't believe this is my day today. It's getting food for my family. So think about those people who don't have in countries that, they have to walk miles to get water, to get, think about
yes,
those people now. And we're inconvenienced by having to go and do this now. Like I have a whole new appreciation for so many things because of these experiences we've been going through. And I almost feel
right.
embarrassed. I feel like I've really taken advantage in my mind of what we have here in this country. And I just want to make sure I feel moving forward that I'm able to, I don't know, recognize, I guess, and appreciate the
And
little
appreciate,
things,
yes,
and I'm
exactly.
very humbled, very, very humbled. So
That is so true. I think that a lot of people are feeling that same way. The gratitude, and like before any of this happened, it would be nothing to run out to the grocery store to get one ingredient when you're in the middle of making
right.
dinner and you realize, oh, I need
Yep.
this. Now, of course, that's not going to be done. They don't want us coming to the grocery store any more than once a week either.
Mhm.
But yeah, it really causes you to appreciate and be grateful for what you had before,
Yeah.
because this, there were some things that definitely we would take for granted. And this makes you think of that because everything shut down. Well, not everything shut down, but so many things you never would have imagined would be canceled, like sports being canceled, everything closed, Las Vegas shut down.
I
Like,
know.
who would ever have thought that? And that
Oh,
all happened in such a short period of time. So if you think of it that way and you flip it around to how much good you could do in such a short time, and how there is a ripple effect, just like there is for, this happening to close everything. What about spreading love and kindness through the world and just, helping each other, and this sense of community rippling out and that's what is really happening. It's like a global community coming
yeah.
together.
Oh, it totally has. And one of the things I want to mention is, we still have our homeless community out there. And in one of my businesses, I have an initiative where I donate 10% of the proceeds of my Give a Box sales. And I build these bags for people who are homeless, keep them in my car. My husband keeps them in his car. And whenever we see someone, we literally just hand them a bag. Could be filled with food, a scarf, a hat, socks, things that people need who don't have a home. And I haven't been out and about driving because I really haven't been anywhere. But a couple of weeks ago, when all this started, there was a homeless person who was at the corner of Weston and 7, and I was able to give him a bag. And I'll tell you something, I've been doing this for 3 years, this initiative. And I have never seen a face so grateful to receive this bag as I did that person I was able to give to that week. And I think it was a shock because in a time where everybody's spending for themselves, he couldn't believe that somebody would actually
Mm,
have that. So I just kind of want to remind people that, like, we have so much. We're not going to
right.
starve, you know? If you can do the smallest thing and keep a few things in your car, you could just reach in your back seat and hand somebody, even if it's a bag of chips. For someone who doesn't have anything, that's a lot. So
True.
remember to give. This, even the smallest thing is so appreciated by someone who has nothing. And it's a time where we can do that, right? Maybe we can't do a lot, but we can do a little bit. And if we all did a little bit, it's going to go a long way, right? A little bit of kindness. So
Yeah.
you're right.
Right. You're so right. Yeah, especially at these times, everybody is focused on their safety of themselves, safety of their family, but like you say, the grocery stores, there's no issue with food.
No, no.
So, just reach whatever you can do to help. That would be great.
Any little bit helps someone who
Yes,
doesn't have anything. So
for sure. Yeah.
one day
Yeah.
at a time, we're doing our best. I'm so proud of our communities. I think that this whole experience will change us forever, and all the lives that are lost are so sad, and I'm so sorry to all those people who have lost someone close to them. uh,
Yes.
I don't even want to say but, because there's no but. You can't bring those people back, but it's our own.
No.
This planet is at odds, because of our own doings. So we have to make ethical choices. We have to think about all the things now that we've done to create this problem, and why our planet is in such disarray and angry at us, you know? So
Right.
what can we
True.
all do collectively, even if it's one little thing that we change differently? That one little thing brought the dolphins back to Venice, you know? So yeah, it's a time to reflect and a time to just really think about all the things you're doing and you can do moving forward that are going to make a difference to our planet, to our humanity as a whole, and make your life better. That's how karma
That's
works.
No, that's true. That's true for sure. And I really, this is a chance for us to, it's like a reset. We're
Yep.
forced to pause and reflect and, like you say, make better choices going forward.
Hmm.
And people are, people are saying hi to their neighbors. I had somebody else I was speaking to on one of the interviews, and he said he's lived in his house 2.5 years. Never once has he seen the neighbors or said hi to them. And now, going outside, going for a walk and things like that. But everybody just before this, everybody's rushing around and right into your house. You come home into your house, you might go in your backyard, but you don't necessarily see anybody from there. So yeah, it's really, it's like going back to basics with
Yeah.
a community from before,
Yeah.
when people cared for their neighbors and the community would look after, the elderly, they respected them and things like that. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Exactly.
it
Exactly.
is.
You reminded me of a story of when I first moved to Toronto. I'm not from Toronto. And I actually moved here the weekend that the army was called in with that big
Oh, the
snowstorm.
snowstorm.
You remember that? So I'm
Yes.
from Sudbury, and we have snow like that all the time
Yeah.
in Sudbury. That's how I grew up. So I had moved here with a girlfriend after I finished hairstyling school. And I was going through a checkout at a grocery store, and I didn't have a lot of items, just a few things in a basket, and I was putting them on the thing. But I said hello to the lady who was doing the checkout, and she didn't say anything to me. And I said hi, trying to be connecting with her, and she still didn't say anything to me, and she was just running the groceries through. And so she was finished, and then I took those sucker trees, the
Oh,
ones that.
yes.
So
Yeah.
I took a sucker and I put it on the thing, and then she she sped up the belt and it went there, and she says, "Oh, is this yours too?" And I said, "Yes." And so she rang it through, and I said, "It's for you." I said, "I hope you have a better day than how you started," or something like that. And she looked at me in such shock. And I said, "I said hello to you twice." And she goes, "Oh," like she didn't care. And I thought to myself, oh dear. And that was kind of one of my first impressions of moving to a big city.
Oh,
And I came home to my girlfriend and I said, this is what happened. And I told her the story. And she said, "Oh my God." She goes, "People don't talk to each other here. I know." And we started to share experiences that, it was kind of hurtful. Coming from a small town, everybody talks to everybody.
yeah.
You help your neighbor. You go and you shovel your neighbor's driveway if they're 80 years old next door. Like, that's just how we grew up. And so if we can bring back some of that mentality of, old school helping. I actually have another great story of a neighbor I moved next door to about a decade ago. And he used to tell his young son, who was only about 7, to go and clean off my car when he left for school. And I used to think, my God, what a good man that he's teaching his son to go and help someone before he even leaves for school. It was a little gesture, but it stuck with me. That little gesture that he went out of his way to clean off my car so I could go to work without having to do it was just such a nice thing
Oh,
to,
yeah.
so
Huge.
I want to make sure that moving forward, I have those thoughts programmed into my son's mind to help somebody first, if you can.
Yes.
We have
And
to
I
do our
think, right. And I think that this is going to be the stepping stone into that. Hopefully that's this whole sense of community helping each other continues after we come through the other side of this,
well, it starts with us.
whenever that's
Let's
going to
make
be.
it happen.
Yeah, exactly. And it is happening now. So, you know, let's see it continue afterwards,
Exactly.
for sure. All right. Thank you so much, Sandra, for your time. That was
You're
great.
welcome.
We're going to come through this as community. We're all going to be better humans after this is done. And this is the time to be creative.
It is. So thank you for having me, and keep doing what you're doing. I think it's great to connect people and hear from other people how they're getting through this. And I'm just happy that I was able to share as well.
Oh, thank you so much. And thank you, everybody. And bye for now.